Almost 35 years after they declared their independence from Yugoslavia, we're heading to Croatia, and I'm super buzzing about this one. We're flying there via Amsterdam, Schiphol. That'll be very interesting to see how that goes with this new Schengen entry-exit scheme that just came into effect at the start of April. So, disaster. We've missed our connecting flight to Split, and that's because of the new reality of this entry-exit system that they just introduced when you're going into the Schengen zone. Massive long queues, everyone getting flustered, stressed out, angry. You know, I would say probably 60 to 70 people must have missed their connecting flight. Here we go. I'm so glad to be in Croatia finally after a long, arduous day. Well, it's a dead of night at Split Airport in Croatia. We finally got our hire car sorted out. It's just gone like midnight or something like that. Yeah, we've been up for over 20 hours at this point, I would say. Hi guys, how's it going? So, it's a cold and crisp spring morning here in the northeast of Scotland, and we're super hyped because we're heading back to another beauty of the Balkans. So 2 years ago I went to Bosnia and Herzegovina. Last year it was Serbia and Slovenia. And this time, almost 35 years after they declared their independence from Yugoslavia, we're heading to Croatia. And I'm super buzzing about this one because Croatia is a place that I've been keen on going to for a very long time. It just looks absolutely stunning. And obviously, for the big movie and TV nerds out there, they'll know that Croatia's been the filming location for a bunch of films and TV shows over the years, Game of Thrones and Star Wars and things like that. So absolutely buzzing to go back to the Balkans and see another Balkan country. And you might have noticed I said we this time, so I'm back with my reliable and jovial travel buddy. You might remember him from the Greece vlogs. Say hello to the intrepid traveller Rulston.
Hi folks.
Rulston, how are you feeling about this red-eye flight?
The usual, I guess. Get me on a beach and I'll be alright.
Yeah, get me on a beach and we'll be fine. This is quite an early flight out of Aberdeen Airport, and we're going to Split. So Split is our first destination in Croatia, and we're flying there via Amsterdam, Schiphol. But we've got a very quick layover in Schiphol, only an hour and 10 minutes, so that'll be very interesting to see how that goes with this new Schengen entry-exit scheme that just came into effect at the start of April. So let's not jinx anything. Let's see how we get on.
Skip on the obligatory link.
So, disaster. We've missed our connecting flight to Split, and that's because of the new reality of this entry-exit system that they just introduced when you're going into the Schengen zone, and that was just introduced just at the start of April. So unfortunately we just caught it. But yeah, that's the reality of it. And the reality is, I'll throw up some footage just now. I shot discreetly on my phone, but massive long queues, everyone getting flustered, stressed out, angry. You know, I would say probably 60 to 70 people must have missed their connecting flights. And everyone's in the same boat, you know, everyone's trying to get fast-tracked, everyone's trying to plead to the airport staff to let them through or to go to a quicker line, but it's just not possible because there's just so many people in the same boat. We eventually got through, and you know, we were cutting it so close. I think our plane was supposed to board at 09:55 and we got through at like 09:48 or something like that, and obviously boarding closes, and you know, we sprinted from passport control right to our gate. And we're in Amsterdam airport just now, so one of the busiest airports in Europe, and we sprinted to our gate, which was C9, and unfortunately we missed it. So the staff there at the gate told us that we could get rebooked onto another flight, and then the queue for the rebooking in the transfer desk was really long as well. So long story short, we're hoping that we've been booked onto a later flight to Split later this evening. It's supposed to be leaving Amsterdam just after 9 p.m. Yeah, we'll catch up with you closer to boarding time, hopefully, when we'll be on our way to Croatia. Hopefully. Rulston, what do you think of that experience? Our first time going through this new entry-exit system for the Schengen. What do you think?
It's completely unorganized. It makes no sense, and the airline's probably losing more money because of it.
Yeah. And would you say like 70 to 80% of the people in our line missed their connecting flights anyway?
They should have just left the gate open a little bit longer.
Maybe zoom in on the edit, but just over there, massive long queue. It goes right up there, tails right up there. That's the queue to the rebooking desk. Just by that, get an estimate of how many people are in a similar position to us. But hey, it's all part of the fun, all part of the travel experience. So yeah, I think we'll collect ourselves and then we'll see what's next on this interesting first day of our trip. So, update. We've been rebooked onto a later flight to Split, and that flight leaves around 9 p.m. So we've got about 8 hours to kill here in Amsterdam. But hey, we were rebooked at, and quite rightly, no extra cost to us. So now it's just a case of filling in some time until then. You see how fast that was? We're just walking to our gate just now. That just took a second for you. See, I told you it would be fast. Whereas for us, it took about 8.5 hours or so, 9 hours almost. We've been waiting here in Amsterdam, but for you guys, just a second. That's a cool thing. So yeah, we're gate B35, so down this way, and we're going to be boarding soon, probably about 15 minutes before we board. Excitement's starting to set in now that we're finally on our way to Croatia after the craziness and the chaos this morning. But yeah, almost there, almost there. So it will be interesting to see how many familiar faces we see on this flight, because we both reckon that 80% of that queue this morning at passport control, we reckon that the majority of people in that queue missed their flight, because as I mentioned earlier, the queue for the transfer and the rebooking desk, the queue for that was about 1 hour and 10 minutes alone. So it'd be interesting to see if anyone who also missed their connecting flight to Split this morning might be on this, might have been rebooked to this flight this evening. We spoke to 2 American couples that were in a similar position to us. They missed their flight to Split, so they may well be on this plane. So if you're coming to Amsterdam, if you're in a similar position, you got a layover, short layover, and you have to go through that, just make sure you factor in the queues. Especially, we're flying on a Saturday morning, so that could be a factor in how busy it is, but just make sure you allow yourself plenty of time to get through that.
For safety reasons, the use and charging of a power bank on board is prohibited. Do not store the power bank in the overhead compartment. Keep it visible and make sure it is always easily accessible.
Here we go. Country number 29, Balkan country number 5. I'm super hyped. I'm buzzing. I think Rulston, he got off the back of the plane, so he should be waiting just as we get in. But yeah, super hyped. I'm so glad to be in Croatia finally after a long, arduous, monotonous day. I can't even collect my thoughts, guys. I'm just so tired. Been awake almost 19 hours at this point. Didn't really get any sleep on the plane. But yeah, let's get in here and see what the deal is with passport control and getting through. And then we'll have to find the car hire desk. Rendezvous with Rulston, he's here. I was worried we left him in Amsterdam. Never seen him once we got on a plane.
Sleeping on the plane.
Rulston, what do you think of that flight?
Genuinely slept through the whole thing. I remember takeoff and then I woke up as the wheels hit the ground.
Yeah, well, I was just saying we're going to get through and try and find our car hire desk and just see what the story is. Hopefully they're still there. They might have all gone home.
Better not be stuck with a Fiat 500.
Yeah, we're going to pick up our Ferrari. Nah, I doubt it. It's probably going to be like a Fiat or something like that. First impressions of Split Airport. Ultra modern. I'm amazed. It's so cool. It looks like some kind of futuristic spaceport or something from like Blade Runner. So cool. Although it's quite quiet because we just got in. It's like 11:30. It's like 11:30 p.m. There's hardly anyone going about. But yeah, really clean, really modern. Good impression so far. So we hired this car through 6th, and after our delay in Amsterdam, we got in touch with the rental company and we explained the situation to them. So they assured us that someone would still be at the desk for us getting in quite late to arrange our car. So let's hope that that is the case, otherwise we'll be walking to the city centre. So the 6th desk is straight ahead, but it looks shrouded in darkness. That's not a good sign. So there is someone in there. Well, it's the dead of night at Split Airport in Croatia. And 2 weary, intrepid travellers from Scotland have just invaded Croatia. We've finally got our hire car sorted out. It's just gone like midnight or something like that. So
Traveling for over 18 hours.
yeah, so I think at this point we've been
over 20 hours.
Yeah, we've been up for over 20 hours at this point, I would say. So we're sleep deprived, but we just have to push on and get to our Airbnb. So we're just walking over to the ride that we've hired, and you know, it took a bit of time just to sort out different options, different cars. So we were just mulling it over because the roads in Croatia, from some of the research and from what we've been told, the roads in Croatia are quite narrow because they're so old. You know, they're built hundreds of years ago, as the guy at the desk told us. So yeah, quite narrow.
Our friend from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the guy at the higher desk was telling us he was an extra in Game of Thrones. That's quite cool. First nerdy connection to Croatia that we've encountered so far. Didn't even touch the key and it already opened. Must be automatic. Right, we're gonna get in. We're gonna get all suited and booted and ready for driving over to Split. It's about a 30-minute drive, I think, to the accommodation. I'm gonna be driving, so if we make it there, we'll catch up with you. And yeah, we'll see you when we get to the Airbnb. It's always an interesting challenge when you drive on the left in the UK and then you go to anywhere else, well, almost anywhere else in the world. Most places on the right, driving the right hand side. So yeah, just getting used to it here. Ralston and I were just saying this is probably the best time to do it because there's no one going about. I mean, here's someone now, but this is the first person we've seen since leaving the rental lot at the airport. So yeah, it's kind of like the best time to do it. At long last, we finally made it. Yeah, absolutely shattered. 23 hours a week at this point. We've been driving for like the past 30-40 minutes. But we're glad to be here. So yeah, gonna take it easy. We're finally in Croatia. Probably gonna catch some sleep and then rise nice and early, fresh tomorrow for exploring this cool city of Split that I've seen and heard so much about on the internet. So that's planned for tomorrow. But tonight, time to sleep, I think. So yeah, we'll catch up with you then. So till then, guys, see you soon.